Hello everyone, this is Nicole. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a wonderful day. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can use these wonderful washi tapes that was just released from Altenew, and we're going to create two brand new cards. These washi tapes are wonderful because they're 4.5 inch wide long, and it's big enough to cover a 2 size card. So for the first project, I'm going to do some watercolored look on the background. So I smooch some of the blue ink colors onto a large palette board from Altenew, and I am using Ocean Wave, Dusk, and Desert Night. What I did is I transferred some of the ink from the mini cube sets onto the palette board here, and then I smooshed it onto the surface and sprayed it with some clean water. All you have to do is take the watercolor paper directly onto the palette board surface where all the inks are watered so that you can get some nice background going on. So without actually having to watercolor, you can create some fun layered look. All you have to do is go in with a one layer, dry with a heat tool, and then you're gonna go in with the second layer by smooshing it. So I did first two layers with the first two lighter colors, and then I'm taking some dark color. This is Desert Night. I smooshed it a little bit more on some portion of the watercolor paper to get some variations, and you can see some splatters, nice background wash with some lighter colors. So this is a really fun way to get some more out of your water-based dye ink, and Altenew mini ink cubes are perfect for this technique. So I hope you have some fun with this technique, creating this card. After that, I'm just going to clean up my palette board and my work surface, and we're going to play with one of the washi tape. This is Galaxy washi tape. It creates a wonderful background for any of the card, but it also creates a wonderful focal points or accents. So we're going to use it just for that. A trick is to use your whole hand, or a bone folder or a ruler when applying these wide washi tapes. So you're going to place it onto a cardstock, and you can take it as much as you want. I tend to do a full panel, like a one pattern of the background, and then I save the cardstock for later use. In this card, we're going to cut out U sentiment using the Caps Fold Alphabet die set, and we're going to use that as a focal point for washi tape and for my card. I have some scraps that I cut out from the watercolor background washi look that we created, and I added a sentiment so that it has still a bit of watercolor look on it, but also has a little bit more white showing. So you could definitely use a white cardstock, but I decided to add just a little bit more watercolor onto it to incorporate the background look. So it kind of brings the background look onto the front as well. The sentiment is from the Dusk of stamp set from Altenew, and I stamped it with VersaFine onto the watercolored cardstock. For the card panner, I am using Nina Solar White 110 pound. I really wanted to raise this up, so I'm going to use the fun foam pad that is cut to be just smaller than our watercolor panel piece. And I'm going to use a Be Creative tape to actually really make sure these fun foam tapes goes all throughout the surface and keep it really nice and flat for our cards. So you're going to use a wide version of the Be Creative tape. There's various size of it, so you can use whichever one you have, but I like to use a wide one for using the fun foam tape. And then we're gonna stick both sides, sandwich the fun foam pad in between the card panel and the card base. And then I'm going to stick the sentiment portion of the die cut onto the center portion of the card. I just used the scoring board as a guide to keep it straight. You can use a ruler as well, whatever that kind of gives you a guideline. It doesn't have to be super straight. You can just kind of need a rough guideline to place these straight. So for these die cuts, I also added some fun foam tape on the back of each letter to give even more dimension onto the project. Now I'm going to cut the sentiment that we stamped using the From the Desk of Stamp set, and I cut it to fit the center portion of the card and added some glue tape behind and adhere it directly onto the sentiment die cut piece. I wanted to bring a little bit more white color onto the project. So we're gonna take the Nouveau drop in white and we're going to add a little bit of drops here and there. So I added 3 on the bottom right portion, right below letter U. And I'm going to add a couple more drops between Y and O on the top portion, just to add a little bit more variations. This is a great way to add a little bit more interest and texture onto your card. And that finishes the first card. Now we're going to move on to the second one. This is even more simple. We're going to use the glitter Flurries washi tape, and I have a white cardstock that is cut to 4 by 5 1/4, and I cover the whole surface using the glitter Flurries washi tape. I'm going to cut the access portion of it, but this is a really easy way to add background onto your card front or card base. So this is a great way to just use quick cards during your busy schedule. So I'm going to cut some portion of the washi tape. We have a lot of access, so I'm going to cut it using these large scissors. And we're going to use the mandala die set from Altenew to add a background. So I'm actually embossing it using some embossing pad and running it through my die cutting machine. And after that is done, we're going to prepare our sentiment. I have a vellum cardstock and I prepare the surface using the anti-static powder. And we're going to stamp the sentiment using VersaFine black ink. And we're going to heat set this using some white, or actually clear embossing powder, and heat set it. The sentiments that I'm using is, it says thank you from the bottom of my heart. And this is from Heartfelt sentiment stamp set. It's very versatile stamp set, perfect for various occasions. It is filled with awesome sentiments and greetings. So you should definitely check it out. So after I cut the vellum piece, I'm going to place these behind the panel so that it kind of overlaps, and put the flap behind it. That way you can adhere on the back and have nothing showing on the card front. And after that, I'm going to adhere this pattern onto a card base. This is also Nina Soda White 110 pound top folding card. I'm going to use some foam tapes behind the card panel and adhere it onto the card. So this is really simple, but you can see the embossed texture of the die on the background. So these 2 cards wrap up today's video tutorial. I hope these 2 gave you some ideas on how to use washi tape and incorporate them on your project. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I hope you subscribe. And I have listed all the products that I use in today's video in the description area right below the video, so I hope you check it out. Also, there's some giveaway information and close-up photos on today's project on my website at scrapsandstamps.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.